Good afternoon and welcome to another exciting episode of your program, Football Analysis with me, Oluwatosi Kayode, aka D-Village, right here from the studios of CTV. I remember that this program is brought to you courtesy Adamasile Foundation, and right here at CTV, we are very particular about your general safety. Remember that before you step out of your house, for those of us who have a car, that you do well to check every necessary things you need to check before you step out of the house, just to avoid an accident. And for pedestrians, remember that it's imperative that you always make use of the footbridges, and like I will always advise that you do not go out with your AirPod loud, in your ears, just so you can hear when a car is on in, and so you just know where to stay and where to work on. All right, with having said that, once again I welcome you to today's edition of Football Analysis, and as we all know, it's the international break edition. There's no club football at the moment. However, we're still enjoying football, and it's the country that's doing it for us at the moment. And from the games we've seen so far, from the international games both in Europe, South America, and also Africa, we've received barrage of goals. The one that Germany gave to us, Spain also, Croatia, England yesterday. Goals pouring from left, right, and center. A lot of things to discuss today on the show. Remember to be a part of today's program. All you need to do is follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It is CTV Live, and on TikTok and YouTube, it is CTV Live 1. So those are the platform where you can join us on the program. Just drop your comment, drop your thought. We'll do well to read them out, and also you can drop your comment and your message on our WhatsApp line with 090-1560-1908. So that's the number to be a part of the program. All right, so on today's show, I'll not be doing this alone. I have with me my pundits for today's show. Very soon I'll be going straight to them so we can discuss and trash footballing matters happening around the globe. There's a lot of things to talk about, really. There's a lot of things to talk. I'm buzzing about, having to discuss football with this gentleman. So, guys, let's get straight to our pundit for today's program. Good afternoon, guys. How are you guys doing?
I say everybody was question.
All right, so I'll give you guys. Can you just please introduce yourself? That would mean just say your name and the club you rep.
My name is Leo. I've been in Liverpool since 2005.
Oh, you've been supporting Liverpool since 2005. That's way back.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so Mr. Morgan. Hello, Mr. Morgan, are you there?
My name is Morgan. My name is Morgan. I've been a national fan.
Wow, great. So we have Mr. Morgan and Mr. Yusuf as our pundit for today.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, great. I can hear you guys. So together we'll be discussing all footballing matters. All right. So we had games yesterday, and we also had games the day before yesterday, and that's the Europe World Cup qualifiers, where we had a lot of goals rained. We saw Germany trashing Liechtenstein by 9-0. The game was a flawless victory for Germany. We had 6 goal scorers from Germany, 6 to 7 goal scorers from Germany, and they had 2 own goals from the other team. What was your take about the game, the Germany game? Hello.
The Germany game, right?
Yeah, the Germany game where they trashed Liechtenstein by 9-0.
The Germany game.
Yes, the Germany game where they won by 9-0.
So I saw. Yeah, exactly. So I saw something on the internet yesterday about Hansi Flick repeating what he does best.
Yeah.
So remember at the time it was Bayern, he did something like that. He beat Barcelona.
Yeah.
A very large scoreline like that as well. So it appears that it is his trademark. So for
exactly.
every time he handles the team goes ahead to perform and do extraordinary. What? Man, the other team did not come to the field or something.
It was a disaster from the other team.
You know, for Leicester Stand, it was a disaster. But you know, yeah. The fact that Joachim Low, the former coach, team, thought he had achieved, right, and it was honorable for him to leave.
Yeah.
And then for Joachim Low, who's been a long time, right, and then he left. The best that could have happened to the German team was for them to hire someone who could fit in those shoes that Joachim put down there. You get?
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
I think as a flicker that he's been able to fit it right into, and he's
doing fantastically well. Yeah, he's doing great. I mean, from the result, he has 6 games down and he has won all 6 games. And I mean, from the record, I think he has 26 to 27 goals scored and has only conceded 1 goal, haven't taken the mantle from Joachim Low.
Amazing.
So that's an amazing start. That's an amazing start for a coach.
My point here is he's got players who are hungry. He's got players who are enthusiastic, who are confident, who what they do for the love of country. You get? So you see Serge Gnabry, the former Arsenal man.
Yeah.
You see Thomas Muller, who sometimes is even on the bench.
Exactly. They just have. They just have.
Guys, you see every time.
They just have a well experienced, gifted guys in that team. Do you see any team stopping Germany at the moment? Mr. Morgan.
No. So I believe, well, we can't say, well, Germany for me is a strong team, right? And they're not doing badly. However, you should know that there are some upsets that can actually happen in the game of football.
All right, so Mr. Morgan, I would like you to hold your thoughts for a moment.
For example,
are you with me? Okay. So I'd like you to hold your thoughts for a moment so we can reconnect back to the other pundit. I think his network's having a little bit of glitch. Okay. However, let's see what we can do so we can have him back on the show. All right, guys, so you heard from Mr. Morgan there that he doesn't think there's anything at the moment in Europe that can, take the place, I mean, that can beat Germany at the moment. And funny enough, Germany, right, is not ranked among the top 5 teams in the world. Germany is nowhere placed among the top 5 teams in the world. However, they are doing big things. I mean, even Belgium, I think Belgium is the number 1 ranked team in the world, second to Brazil. Then we have France. I mean, Germany is nowhere near these guys at the moment. However, when it comes to them playing the game, I also strongly believe that there is nobody, close to that Germany team at the moment. So I would like to know what you guys think, all our viewers. Do you see anything at the moment beating this Germany team? I mean, they are so compact. They are so good. It's just incredible what those guys are doing at the moment. I mean, but we can never tell. Football, a game of football, anybody can win, anybody can lose. Also, this Germany team, let me remind you, they also lost one of their games to a lowly side. I think that was like the 3rd game into the qualifiers, and it was surprising. However, so this thing happened in football. Mr. Yusuf is glad to have you back on the show. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me too?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I mean, we lost you for a moment there. All right. All right, great. We have both of you back on the show. So before you went off, we were talking about the Germany game that went down 2 days ago. I mean, the thrashing of Liechtenstein, 9-0. What were your thoughts about that one?
Yeah. Well, I believe,
Hello, guys. It seems like the rain pouring down in Lagos is affecting quite a number of network as it is. However, the show is going to continue regardless of how good the network is or not. I haven't reached out to, I haven't spoken about the Germany game. We'll look at all the games that went down in the qualifiers yesterday. We also saw the game between England yesterday. England also holding their own against their opponent yesterday. I mean, it was an incredible game yesterday. England did the 5-star thing. They trashed their opponent by 5 goals to none. And that was Albania. I mean, it was an incredible game of football yesterday. Did you see the England game, Mr. Tycoon?
Yeah, not really, but I was following the update because I was on the move. I wasn't at home.
Oh, great. So what was your opinion?
But England won 5-0.
Yeah.
Right. England won 5-0. Yeah, so I think England are in one of the toughest groups, talking about Hungary, Poland, where we have Lewandowski.
Yes, yes.
So I think with 23 points, England is with 23, the next team is Poland. They have 20 points, right?
Yeah, they also have 20 points.
Yeah. With just 1 game to go. So it is just safe to say England have qualified.
Exactly. It is fair to say. It is just fair to say that England are through to the next phase.
But historically, the top team on the table is always the favorite. So I mean that is what everything is going to be gunning for, because based on the position in the group stages, they are more likely to be in the more in a less let out position when the draw comes up.
And
there's no fact.
Surprisingly, yesterday, Mr. Yusuf, let me cut you there. Surprisingly, yesterday, Harry Maguire scored a goal yesterday.
Well, like I said, I wasn't following the. I didn't watch the goal, but I was guessing he scored with his head. All right, he scored an header.
He was surprised. He got a goal, and the way he jubilated was as if he was telling his critics that he is back.
Yes.
Well, was it a header from the set piece?
Yeah, the header from the set piece, that is.
I was able to get even I didn't watch the game. I mean, that is why I mean, all these goals I've seen in his career are always from the header.
Yeah, that's it. So we had Harry Kane having to score a perfect hat-trick yesterday. He scored a goal with his head. He scored a goal with his right foot, and he also scored a goal with his left foot, making him score a perfect hat-trick yesterday. Mr. Morgan, what was your thought about that one?
Don't forget to mention Henderson, who also made 2 assists yesterday.
Mr. Yusuf, I'm coming to you. You need not bring Liverpool into this matter, but we are coming right into that. Mr. Morgan, what was your thoughts about Kane's hat-trick yesterday? Hello, Mr. Morgan, are you with us? I think his network is a bit glitchy there. So, Mr. Yusuf, let me come back to you. So, you want us to give credit to Henderson for the assist he gave to Harry Kane yesterday?
Well, according to when
Hello, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think Mr. Morgan is trying to say something.
Okay. So, Mr. Morgan, we'll reach you. I was asking you your thoughts about Harry Kane's hat-trick yesterday. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly, Mr. Morgan. It seems his network is really terrible where he is. However, we'll continue with the show. It's still football analysis with me, Oluwatosi Kayode, aka Develords, on your favorite streaming online channel, CTV. All right, Mr. Morgan, you're saying something? We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. All right, Mr. Yusuf. So let's give credit to your captain, who is the current captain of Liverpool, Anderson. So you can give him all the praise you want now.
Right. Well, Harry Kane had a fantastic game yesterday. To be honest, I think it was one player who stood out yesterday. Even more than more than some players. Remember, right. England won 5-0, Germany won 9-0, but he had an all-star performance. I mean, it's the man for the weekend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And there's always this debate about, we're digressing a little, but I mean, it's something we could talk about. A lot of people tend to believe that Trent Alexander-Arnold is a great player, right? However, when it comes to defending, Trent Alexander-Arnold is shambolic. I mean, he does well with his crosses, he does well with his assists, and now he's pulling in incredible free kick goals. I mean, his primary job is to be a defender. What's your opinion on that one?
Well, my opinion on Trent is, Trent, at least he has a quality that is well known for. He can threaten the opposition defense. He can come in the flanks and lay some nice set pieces for the strikers to score, and he can also shoot. Yeah. Right. So good. I mean, his lapses at the back, have been forgivable because of his performance up front.
I love how you put it, that his lapses at the back is forgivable because of what he does going up front.
It's not good defensively anymore. It's not like he's not good. Remember when Trent came in through the ranks, right? He met this guy who went to Crystal Palace. I've forgotten his name.
Okay, I can't remember his name also.
So Trent was always a good defender. He had always been a good defender until he started to taste the attack and started to get more interested in up front.
So why don't you think he should just be pushed? Don't you think he should be pushed forward instead of having him sit down at the back?
Well, that is up for another debate.
Yeah. So let's leave that to your coach. Let's leave that to Jurgen Klopp to decide. Yeah. I mean, so. All right, so let's move on to the next game that went down. That's the game between Italy and Switzerland.
Before we move on, it seems the England coach, preferred Chris James over Trent, right?
Yeah, it is obvious because James is also in impeccable form at the moment. He's also good. He's also good going forward. He's also good defending. So I think Southgate actually does prefer a more balanced player in James versus James. That's my opinion on the matter. What's yours on the matter?
Well, you are very correct, and I totally agree with you on that.
Great. So I think it's nothing biased. There's nothing biased. Both are fantastic players. Both of them are fantastic players.
They have enough strikers.
Exactly. So we move to the Italy-Switzerland game yesterday. Switzerland held Italy to a 1-0 draw. If Italy had won that game yesterday, they would have qualified for the World Cup games. However, their fate was in the hands of the current European best player, whose name goes Giorgio. However, he lost a late penalty. I mean, he played it over the bar. He lost it. Come on, I mean, Giorgio is known to be prolific in front. I mean, when it comes to the 15-yard box.
Yeah, when it comes to penalty.
But I don't know.
So that was so unusual.
It's unusual. Of late, he has been missing.
Yeah.
So now this brings.
We can still be. We can still be sure. Italy has nothing to worry about. Like they've also qualified with 15 points.
Yeah, right? Yeah. It's safe to say they've qualified.
On par with Switzerland.
So Now, this now brings me to a very interesting topic, which is the Ballon d'Or trophy that is going to come up in like 2 weeks' time. You know, Jorginho is also in contention for that gong, the best player in the world, called the Ballon d'Or. So recently, he made a comment that the Ballon d'Or should not just be given to players who score a lot of goals and stuff. Do you think Jorginho is scared that he might not be winning that award?
To be completely honest with you, I think Jorginho does not stand any chance.
Wow.
You know, he's had a good performance at the Euros, but you know, I was so shocked to hear that I was personally so shocked to hear that it was even the European best player. Right. I think well, it was actually totally because of Italy's success in the competition.
My thought as well.
It has little to do with Jorginho. It has little to do with Jorginho. And players like Chiesa, you know, they did well. They drew through difficult times than what Jorginho did. But you know, because he's had a wonderful season at Chelsea too, it was so you know, acceptable that it was brought to the forefront as a winner.
So, Mr. Yusuf, if I may ask you, in your own opinion, who would you have given the best European player to?
I think it's N'Golo Kante. Right?
N'Golo Kante.
Yes, N'Golo is facing some you know, well, as a black player that is, I'm not being racist here, but it is a fact. It is actually very difficult. If he emerges the European best player, it is going to be a record, right? Which has not happened before. Right?
I totally agree and share your sentiment that I personally feel that if Kante had been given that award, I would hold no grudge against that. Because if we look at the run at the Champions League, into winning the Champions League game, he had the Man of the Match award 3 times, back to back.
Correct.
Do you understand? Yes, he was an impeccable.
He was a complete player, both defensively and you know in the attack. You know,
exactly.
It's shown visible performance, which you know Jorginho lacked.
Exactly.
Right? Jorginho was also a good player, but he's always he's had a wonderful season as well. But you know, N'Golo Kante is done a lot better.
Well, they chose Jorginho to be the best European player. I mean, he has the award already. So if you were to give right now the Ballon d'Or title, Mr. Yusuf, who are you giving it to? And remember, this award. Remember that this award is as a result of what has happened in the past 1 year, not just this current season. So we have to put that into consideration.
Well, the Ballon d'Or nominees, well, we have a lot of players on the list. We have, I think we have up to 20 nominees.
Yes, we have up to that amount of people nominated.
But Mo Salah is not. I understand Liverpool added this small season last season in the Premier League last season, but you know, 20 players and no Mo Salah. Right, so it's ridiculous for me. It's actually, you know, is ridiculous. And the Ballon d'Or, I've also noticed historically, it is focused on attack. There are some players that are doing well, you know,
in their other positions
as well. Yeah, like Chiellini, he played very well in the Euros, right? He helped Italy to the European title.
Yes.
So you know. Back in the days when we had players like Cannavaro, players like, you know, they paid some respect to the defenders where, you know, remember the Germany 2006 World Cup?
Yes. I do remember.
So, since then, it has never football.
He had not gone. Of course, he had not gone to a defender after Cannavaro won the world best player. So, are you saying you would give it to Mohamed Salah?
No, I wouldn't. Mohamed Salah is actually far from imagining the winner of the Ballon d'Or because he was.
No, that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you that who are you going to give it to? In your own opinion, your personal sentiment, who will you be giving it to?
In my own opinion, I think N'Golo Kante.
Still N'Golo Kante, that's huge. I was expecting you to
he's been robbed of the European best, so I think this Ballon d'Or should just,
they should just give it to him.
Create history. It's always too bad. He really had a bad game. N'Golo Kante is not a lot better than this season than if we don't want to focus on attack only. And last season actually. So N'Golo Kante, in my opinion, my vote is going for N'Golo Kante.
Great. So you give it to N'Golo Kante. All right, so that's Mr. Yusuf's personal opinion as to who to win the Ballon d'Or. So if you're viewing the show right now, I'd like to have your reactions, your comment as to who you would want to win the Ballon d'Or. I mean, everybody has their opinion about it. Personally, I think Lewandowski should win it because he would have won that last year, but because of COVID-19. What did you say, sir?
I said, in my own opinion, Lewandowski should come after N'Golo Kante.
He should come in second.
Yes, he should come in second.
But you know that if COVID had not happened last year, there was no doubt in anybody's mind that Lewandowski was supposed to win last year's Ballon d'Or.
I totally agree with you. Bayern has been superficial. Right,
exactly.
Anything, like
his goal ratio is simply out of this world.
It's mad. But it has just happened that way. I think they gave him a compensation in place of the actual, Ballon d'Or. All
right. So guys, to be a part of the program, remember all you need to do is follow us on all our media platforms. That is Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. It is CTV Live, and also on TikTok and YouTube it is CTV Live 1. And remember, I'm with my pundit today, that's Mr. Yusuf, which is, I also know him to we also call him Mr. Tycoon, right?
Tycoon.
Yeah, so he's a Liverpool fan. All right, so let's move, let's get away from the international games a bit, and let's talk about the club football. So recently, we just found out that Aston Villa has assigned Steven Gerrard as their new manager.
Yeah.
Do you think Steven Gerrard, that's your legend? That's your legend.
Yeah, correct. That's actually a good development, I would say. When Lampard completes his move to Norwich, right, it's going to create kind of atmosphere the fans want to see. Remember when Lampard was at Chelsea, Gerrard was at Liverpool. They've had some similar style of play, taking outside shots.
Yes.
But Lampard, fortunately, has had more goals than Steven Gerrard. But looking at this, their reputation in England and the Premier League, they are very. They are very valuable figures to the fans, right? So, them coming head to head, trying to get the best out of the table, trying to get the most points, it's going to be some kind of interesting stuff the fans want to see. So, personally,
keep going.
Me as Liverpool as a Liverpool fan, well, I'm praying that the Lampard, the side of me is praying that the Lampard move should feel. Why? Because the Chelsea are just going to grow in their fan base. You expect Norwich fans to also support Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's where you're taking this to. But do you think Steven Gerrard is going to improve this Aston Villa side? I mean, they are wallow. They've not won any game in 5 games. They've lost 5 out of 5. Do you think Steven Gerrard has what it takes to turn things around for Aston Villa?
To be completely honest with you, Steven Gerrard has shown, what he's made of. He's gone to Rangers to work wonders. He's taken Rangers from being a mid-table Scottish team to being the winner.
Yes.
Being a Scottish champion without actually losing one game. He's been clean. He's been clean all through season, breaking the goal scoring records. For Rangers. Right now. It's also taking them to the Champions League, before their defeat to Malmo. I think they are not going to progress to the next stage. But, to be honest, looking at 3 years Steven Gerrard has spent at Rangers, is been bleak for the team.
Yes,
are you with me?
I'm with you.
Right,
he has done fantastically well for Rangers. We agree.
Right. Rangers is not a good. It's not a prolific team like parallel to. Well, they used to be, but talking about 3 years ago before Steven Gerrard joined, they weren't favorites at all in the league. But Lampard on the other hand has had experience in the Championship with Derby County, I think, right before it was promoted.
Yes, before he was brought to Chelsea,
became the head coach at Chelsea, right? So we've seen what Lampard was able to do. I personally think Lampard had everything. I mean, he had more than what he could undo, right? He didn't actually, come. It's like taking too many steps at the same time. The Chelsea team was too big for him. And, well, he actually tried his best, but if he was left alone with the Chelsea team, they wouldn't have won the Champions League, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think so too.
It wasn't really consistent, and it wasn't
great.
But he tried his best as well. And I wish.
So are you saying that Steven Gerrard is going to turn things around for Aston Villa, facing the pedigree?
I'm telling you. I mean, I'm not being sentimental here, but Steven Gerrard has shown that quality, like to take, to manage small players. But I think he shouldn't have any issues at all in Aston Villa, and he should be able to produce some great players as well, like Watson.
Great. So, guys, I need to get your reaction. Do you think Steven Gerrard has what it takes to push Aston Villa to the next level? Tycoon, for one, believes that his pedigree from Rangers, what he has done with Rangers, with that, he believes that Steven Gerrard might just be the one to push Aston Villa to the next level. Let's know what you think about that one. So remember, all you need to do is just drop your comments on all our social media platforms, from whichever one you're watching us live, be it Facebook, be it Twitter, be it Instagram, be it YouTube, or be it TikTok. Just drop your comment. We'll do well to read out your reaction from wherever you are joining us. All right, so Tycoon.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So it's as if a lot of clubs are now taking in former footballers to become their head coach.
Right.
Barcelona has signed Xavi.
Xavi. Yeah.
What's your thought about that one?
Look at Patrick Vieira is actually.
Yeah, Patrick Vieira is also at Crystal Palace. Gerrard now at Aston Villa.
Right. So I think this kind of an era that it has always happened, right? But this is actually a good time to be alive. It is our own time now to see players that would play the game and also want to coach.
Yes.
Right.
Do you think Xavi will do something?
Well, I think Xavi is going to, bring back the tiki-taka. Not I think, I expect him to bring back this tiki-taka.
Yeah?
Recently, Barcelona has lost that
flair.
That kind of format, that kind of, they've been kind of playing police ball like the Premier League this season, and they've been struggling a lot. Right, looking at the La Liga table, they've been mid-table all season.
Yeah, I think they're around 8th position at the moment.
Yes. So which is not a good thing for a prolific for an historic team. It's actually something, an ugly thing to behold. Right, so I believe Xavi is hard stint at Saudi Arabia or Dubai.
Yes,
he's coming from Asia.
Yeah, he's coming from Asia.
Middle East. Yeah, from the Middle East. Right, so I don't expect much from Xavi either. It's going to take time for him to settle. I don't expect him to transform Barcelona overnight. I mean, now he's clamoring for Dani Alves to be.
Dani Alves already has joined them. He has joined them.
He has joined them. Oh,
he joined them.
When was that?
I think that was yesterday night. He was confirmed that he should join. He has joined in just for the remainder of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, so he will be a part of the team just for the remainder of the season.
Okay. Okay.
But
yeah, so who do you think is going to win the La Liga this season?
The La Liga this season. Tycoon is putting me on the spot. So personally, I think Real Madrid has what it takes to win the league. With their current head coach, I think he knows what he's doing, and Benzema's form right now And you know, it is incredible what he's doing right now. I haven't seen Ronaldo, you know, been under the shadows of Ronaldo for a couple of seasons. You know, so I think if Benzema keeps fit and he continues with this form, I think Real Madrid might just win this one. Although I don't want to take out Atletico Madrid and Real Sociedad. Real Sociedad is they're doing great. I mean, they're told on the log as we speak. It's crazy.
But then, what do you think about Messi? You know, struggling to find form at PSG. You know, he's been such a struggle.
Mr. Tycoon, we're going to come back to that in a bit. Let me quickly read out some reactions from the fans. Let me read out some reactions from the fans. What people are saying about their thoughts on the game. So this one says, it says, "I, DV Lords, Aya from Kaduna. I don't know why people are saying Jorginho does not deserve the Ballon d'Or. Cannavaro didn't win the Ballon d'Or in 2006 because he was scoring, but because he was in a phenomenal form for Italy." That's somebody's opinion. So Aya is saying that she doesn't know why people are saying Jorginho shouldn't win. But I mean,
I would have loved to ask the commenter.
Yeah.
What makes you think Jorginho is in? Is it the assist rank or his performance?
All right. So if you're still watching us, so our pundit just said that he would like to know, although Cannavaro is phenomenal, is Jorginho as phenomenal as Cannavaro was back in the day? A lot of people, because it is interesting to see that he doesn't score that much goals. Most of the goals scored from penalty kicks. Assists racked up. Jorginho does not come up. I mean, so what does he exactly do for his team?
Exactly. Especially in crucial games. I mean, looking at the Chelsea team, you would agree with me that the keeper, Mendy, has been so, has been contributing to Chelsea's success over the past 2 seasons, right? So I think he's made a lot of contributions, more than, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that is just what it is.
I mean, everybody has their opinion, so we just have to respect everybody's opinion. All right, so we'll move back to the international break because that's what is happening at the moment. Mr. Tycoon, Nigeria, our beloved country, we have a very huge game playing today. Nigeria is playing today, and we're playing against Liberia. What is your thought on that? Before I come to you, Mr. Tycoon, a lot of people are angry about the fact that Igalo was called up into the national team again. When we have the likes of Victor Osimhen, we have Ahmed Musa, we have some young boys coming through the ranks. We have Nacho, we have Taiwo, Owoniyi. Do you understand? We have those young boys. Why are we still sticking with old men?
Well, let me give my own opinion on that, right? We have Ahmed Musa. Ahmed Musa is not a young. Am I correct?
No, Ahmed Musa is not. I know Ahmed Musa is not young. He's also one of the veterans in the team at the moment.
Igalo has that kind of versatility, right? I'm not saying he's one of our. Igalo, we see Igalo, Moses. Those are iconic players we shouldn't have,
let go.
Disposed.
Yes.
We should have given them some respect. Like, look at the last Nations Cup we won.
Yes.
Moses was actually.
Moses was a part of that team.
Ozaze or Demungi. They've all gone. We've lost them. It doesn't happen like that in Europe, right? So I'm just wondering what is going on. Like, look at Obafemi Martins. When they are done, they really contribute. Look at people like Dani Alves. They are still around the
their national team.
So calling back Igalo is not actually a bad thing. Look at Benzema. Benzema is a very old player. Yeah, it's still in it. It depends on how if we can motivate these guys, we're going to get the best out of them. Some players looking at Igalo, those youngsters, is a lot of motivation for them.
Wow. I actually like the aspect you're bringing this from, that the inclusion of Igalo into the team, it seems like he was brought in to be a motivator for the young stars, to motivate them. So when they see him, they tend to just want to, you know, everybody wants to up their game and do better, right? So, but a lot of Nigerians are just, from what the reactions we got that I saw, a lot of people are really angry because a lot of people feel that we have Frank Onyenka, we have Folarin Balogun, we have Eberechi Eze. You know, all these players, we have a lot of young players coming through the ranks and doing excellently well for their clubs in Europe. You understand? So we are trying to, and you know what General is saying is that we are building a team. But today you call this player, tomorrow you don't call that player. Today you call, is that going to build a stability, a strong, I mean, how are they going to gel? How is the team going to build if you keep calling today, you don't call down tomorrow? I don't know.
Well, there must be a lot of things going on under the hood that are not made public or they don't usually publish, right? But Nigeria is currently, you know, doesn't have an established system in most departments, and I don't believe football should be an exception. We are really struggling. Though our issue, our own matter, is actually better than some African countries, I must say. But looking at the inconsistency, you know, looking back, we've seen players like Okocha. Okocha is an icon.
Yes.
Go everywhere in game, in FIFA. You know, but he's not. He's actually more interested in his, you know, in his King's Bet. He has a betting company.
Yes, we are aware of that.
He rather prefers to be seen as an ambassador of his, you know, company's private business. It's about minding his own business. But what has he done to actually contribute to the welfare of the Super Eagles? I would really love to know, and I would want him to have to reconsider that. At this point, we shouldn't be having. Well, I actually admire what Ghana has done to Nigeria, but we should be having more of our, you know, old players as our head coaches. You know, it's actually going to be beneficial for us, you know, going forward. It's also going to motivate the current players, you know, knowing that they have a future in the team.
So, all right. So I tend to want to agree with you, but what do you think of today's game? Do you think Liberia has any chance whatsoever in causing an upset in today's game?
Well, Liberia can have. Well, you know why I think Liberia wouldn't even bother causing an upset in today's game.
Why?
It's because apart from today's game, we still have another game in hand.
Yes, true.
Right. So I think Liberia is just going to play their game, and I expect Nigeria to have.
So you expect Nigeria to win today's game? Any scoreline on your mind? Any scoreline on your mind?
So I think 2-0 is going to 2-0 is the highest possibility. Looking at the past record, it's always 2-0. I mean anything under 2.5.
Okay.
The only exception was again Cape Verde, where they won 2-1.
All right, so that's Tycoon's personal prediction. So a lot of you, if you believe what he's saying, you might want to take that to the bookers, right? So he says Nigeria is going to win today's game by 2-0. Let's know what you think about that one. So that's Nigerian game. There are also a lot of other games that will be going down today. I mean, in Africa, in Europe, and also in South Africa. Let's also remind you that Argentina won their game against Uruguay early today morning, and that was just 1-0. And their legend, Lionel Messi, didn't start that game. It is obvious that Messi is still struggling with some injuries here or there, but it's not clear. However, we'll get to know with time. All right, so that's the bit we can take on today's episode of Football Analysis. Mr. Tycoon, thank you so very much for being a part of the program today.
Thank you very much too for having me on the program.
We hope that you become.
I really had a wonderful program.
Great. We thank you so much. We hope you be a regular on the show.
Of course, it's going to be a pleasure.
I would like to have you on next week so that we can trash the matter between Arsenal and Liverpool. But we'll take that outside of the show and we'll talk about that some other time. So, guys, that's the bit we can have on today's episode of Football Analysis. You know, football is what we do, be it international break, be it when clubs are on. We will talk about football right here at CTV. Remember, we're building a community. We're building ourselves. Do well to follow us on all our media social platforms, and you'll be glad you did so. All right, so it's time for me to take my bag and move out of the studios. I say thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show today, to our pundit, to everybody behind the scene doing great jobs to see that this show is a success. We say very big thank you. Remember, your safety is our priority, and we always want you guys safe. All right, till I come your way next time, I remain your host, Oluwatosi Kaide. Do have yourself a lovely weekend.